for getting a turn signal. But they'll never go to the freaking gangster ass neighborhoods. They won't go chill there and see what's happening. Oh, they'll just cruise by. They won't even. Let me tell you guys a story about, like, I support police, but let's be honest, a lot of them got bullied in high school. Say true on chat if I'm right. If it's true, I'll keep going with the subject. If it's false, it's democracy, right? Okay, we got 1, 2 truths, facts. Facts is good, but I want to hear true, so because I don't want to read any other words. Okay, cool. So, here's what I'm gonna say about police, man. I got so many bouncing stories. I have content for 6 years, and then I'll probably be out of stories. You know, if I stream 8 hours a day, 6 years, and I'll be done all my life stories. I've the most colorful life. I'm sure there's people with like crazier lives, but like I honestly wouldn't trade my life with Dan Bilzerian because I learned more. Yeah, he made more, but I learned more. Way more mistakes. So the police are your friend. I'm not against the police. But I'm saying there's a lot of corruption that goes on in a lot of these places, guys. And here's what I'm trying to say, guys. As a bouncer, yeah? Let me tell you a story. A lot of bouncers don't like police because we don't carry weapons. We have to escort a drunk person all the way out, restrain them and everything, without weapons, without tasers, without anything. And then I'll go watch a YouTube video after work, and the police cannot tackle a fucking old man. They gotta tase the fuck out of him. And I'm like, what the fuck? If bouncers are like getting gangsters out of bars, you guys should at least be able to not shoot an old man with a fucking taser. You learn some fucking karate. I don't know. I think judo would help them a lot. But damn. They resort to their fucking weapon right away because they're usually out of shape. Which is weird because it's like, why are most cops fat? Like, that. It should be, look, man. If you're even slightly overweight, you're not going to be a law enforcer, bro. You're going to be put him in the office, like a little cubicle, you know what I mean? All right. Fuck, man. When I read chat, I get lost. So let me finish the story by not looking at it. This be easier. Okay. Fight breaks out. I'm not allowed to say on Twitch what kind of gangs are up here. But I'm not going to talk about the fight. I'm not going to talk about how many people involved. Let's say over 30. And let's say the club is closing. So really, we're not fighting for the club. We're fighting to go home, man. This is one street we can walk down. And no bouncer takes the back door out of the club. Because it is a safe bet. No one's in the back alleyway. But let me tell you, if someone hates you and their fucking group of people are there waiting for you. And they're like, fuck, this bouncer kicked me out. You don't want to be in the back alley, man. Just take your ass kicking right on the fucking main street. Where there might be someone to fucking save the day. Which no one really interferes, man. People just watch fights on streets. And that's how people are fucking dying on the street. Well, I'll get to that after. So here's the deal. I'm not going to say the gang. Big bikers, though. Fighting these young bouncers. I'm there and everything. And I see the fucking blue and red lights. And I'm like, finally, they're here. The suffering can end. I wasn't in that bad shape because I was like fucking the last one out. I was like, if you know, by the ending of the club, a lot of bouncers are trying to pick up because it kind of dies down, not a lot of work. So when I came out, yeah, I get attacked too, but I don't feel, I had zero anxiety because, you know, when you see the blue and red lights, you're like, yo, everyone's going to stop beating your ass and they're going to run away. Actually, here's the funny thing. These guys don't run. these guys know a lot of the police officers by name, and the police are terrified because the police got kids, right? But I didn't know that. I was a young bouncer at the time, years ago. And so I thought my life is being saved. I thought all of my boys are going to get saved because the civilians on the street just watching. And they're afraid to film. Nobody films when it's gangsters because it's like, yo, then they'll get it. So look, man, I hear the sirens and shit. They're approaching quickly, yeah? And it's not just me. Even the older bouncers thought we were getting saved. As soon as they come, the car goes, and there's about four chargers. They use chargers up here, right? As the brawl's happening, nobody's stopping. Everyone's drunk. They don't even realize there's cops. I think only the doormen that are the most sober ones there, only they get it. And so, finally, I'm waiting for that, the door open. I want to hear that door open on the police car, right? I hear nothing. But the wheels stop spinning. You heard that they're here. They're on the scene. Everything's going great, right? I said, look, man. They're not coming out of the car, and I don't know why. I'm a 20-year-old kid at this point. Or 21. Yeah, I was 21. And I could not believe that no door was being opened. From my peripheral vision, as I'm getting fucking knocked the fuck out, like I was being ragdolled. Because you gotta remember, when you're fighting these big dudes, yeah, you can hit back, but if you hit back, you get jumped by two more. You kind of gotta like defend, lose. You know what I mean? Lose the fight, but defend yourself while you're losing. You can't go savage when you're outnumbered this much. And if you know anything about these fucking street brawls, a lot of people don't jump in, but they'll sneak in like one puncher here or there. I'm 21 years old, and I'm wondering why the fuck aren't the police stepping out of the car? I'm not going to talk about any of this story except the ending. We're going to cut to the ending. So all the interesting stuff we're going to cut out right here. This is what the police were doing. They had their video camera set up, recording it for evidence. All 4 cop cars. I asked the older bouncers, what the fuck? This is me wiping everything off my face. I couldn't FaceTime my parents for like a month because the shape I was in. I even lied and said I'm on vacation for like 2 weeks. And I had to fake that, and I don't want to get into that, but the moral of the story is, this is the police's excuse here. Since there's so many people on only 4 cop cars, so about like 6 cops, they're going to film to build evidence to catch them later. So I was like, oh, they're going to film us getting our asses beat for as long as the duration, right? Or as long as until the other cops come. That's the first time that I don't think I had it like, I don't think I slept good for another like year after that. You know, because I love bouncing, but the dark part of that lifestyle is like, it's not even anxiety. It's a cold sweat, kind of numb feeling. Like, I'll say you're so terrified of this job sometimes that you miss it. On your days off, you need the stimulation. It's like an abusive relationship. You can get addicted to being abused, you know. And remember, abuse works in cycles. If your dad abused you or verbally abused you, you're gonna do it to your kid, and so on, because it's an addiction. It's an abuse ritual. And that's the first time I realized that, you know what? Maybe I'm not one of these guys that are all for government. Maybe I want as small government as possible. I don't really trust them. And that's when I got into politics. At that time, you know, like when I say I'm a conservative, I mean limited government. I believe in limited government. Couldn't believe my fucking eyes, man. Could you imagine looking up bleeding, I felt like my skull was hollow, man. And I look up and they're filming us. And they had a good point. I mean, if I was the cop, what are you gonna stop bikers and bouncers from fighting? You know, how do you even stop a 30-man brawl? It has to stop. It's got to implode in itself. But fuck, man, there's so much of this story I have to delete off my tongue. Fuck, man. This is why I want to do a meetup so I can tell real stories without TOS. That would be great. I don't know. I support police and stuff, but like I don't support whoever funds their training. A lot of them are undertrained, man. Like their first response is to pull out a gun or a taser. A bouncer's first response is to fucking grapple with the dude. We have nothing else. You know what I mean? We have a flashlight. And we used to be able to have baseball bats and handcuffs in the 90s, I heard, but I'm too young. I started bouncing, really late when it's like you can't do anything. And these cops got batons and shit, and they're still terrified. The weirdest thing any bouncer will ever tell you is how they have to hold down a drunk dude until the cops get there, and then the cops will be like, keep holding him. When it's their job to grab him, the cops will be terrified. They're like, put his arms behind his back, and they want to do the handcuff part. And they won't do that until 4 of them are there. The one guy will wait 20 minutes. Just like this. Yeah, man.